Hold on, I just want to show y'all that God is real. If this ain't indication that God's real, I don't know what. So my tire popped. I'm on the side of the highway. Y'all see how my car is faced, so that means I'm gonna have to spin. So I was all the way on the left. My tire popped. I don't even know how, because as you can see, it's a full tread. And then I don't know what happened to my bumper or whatever. I thought somebody hit me, but nobody did. I'm all the way on this side. Look where my car is turned. Y'all, my tire popped. I spent off the highway and landed perfectly right here. Not a scratch on me. Yeah, my car a little messed up, but baby, on ongoing traffic, I was supposed to get hit. Y'all see how busy this highway is. Ongoing traffic. I stopped this way, spent off the highway, stopped this way, perfectly on this side of the highway. Baby, what? God is real. God is real, okay?
Welcome to Cup of Abundance. God's protection is a constant reminder of His love and faithfulness. He watches over us day and night, shielding us from harm and providing strength in times of trouble. Even in the face of uncertainty, His presence assures us that we are never alone. When we trust in His protection, we find peace, knowing that He is our refuge and fortress in every storm. Stay tuned.
Let me tell you about this one time that I heard God's audible voice, and it literally saved my family's life. Okay, this was about 7-ish years ago. I had 2 babies at the time, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. Me and my husband put them down for bed, and I was so exhausted. It was such a long day. You know those days that you can't wait to throw your body in the bed face first and not move for like 10 hours? That's how I felt. So I'm sleeping. My husband's sleeping right behind me, and I hear, Kathy. And I turn around and I'm like, He doesn't move, doesn't say anything. I turn back around, start falling asleep, and I hear, Kathy, louder. And I look back at him and I'm like, what? And I saw that I actually woke him up. He was purely confused. I was like, why are you calling me? He said, nah, I'm sleeping. So I turn back around, I'm drifting back to sleep, and I hear, Kathy, the stove. And I opened my eyes so wide, I jumped up and I ran to the kitchen, and I saw that I left the stove on. I was boiling water for tea before I fell asleep in a small pot, and y'all, I forgot all about it. When I saw that pot, guys, there was no water in it. It was smoking so much, and the sides of it was completely black and burnt. I was literally shaking, thinking about what could have happened. At that point, Sean was right there. I told him what I heard and everything that happened, and we were like, yo, if this kitchen caught on fire, it would have went into the kids' room first, because their room was closer to the kitchen than ours was in that apartment. And yes, before anyone says anything, of course we thought that the smoke detectors worked, but it clearly proves that they didn't. I honestly couldn't believe it as I sat there shaking, but at the same time I was like, God, did you really just speak to me? Did you really just save our lives like that? And then after all the shock subsided, I was like, oh my gosh, God calls me Kathy. That is so sweet. Because my full name is Kathleen, but only strangers, or my mom calls me that. Like, only when I'm in trouble, she calls me that anyway. So I was like, wow, my Heavenly Father calls me my nickname, Kathy. Like, it was just a cute revelation. Like I said, after all the shock subsided. But yeah, God is so faithful. He is such a good father, and He really takes care of His children. I was still fairly new in my walk with the Lord at that point. So sometimes when I'm hard on myself now, with everything I think I should be doing spiritually, or wondering if I'm in God's will, if I'm being obedient enough, all that, I remember that when I was a baby in the faith, God spoke to me, He protected me, He kept me, and He will keep doing so now. And I just have to keep my eyes on Him and keep taking one faith step at a time. So I hope this encourages you to do the same. Mwah. Be blessed.
Hey y'all, real quick, I just wanted to tell y'all this before I lay it down. God has protected me. And you want to know where He protected me from? Myself. The things that I thought I wanted, He protected me from that by not allowing me to have it, so He could prepare me for the things that He wanted. And I can guarantee the things that He wants are far beyond, far greater than I could ever imagine. So yeah, He's protecting me on a daily basis. Because how many of you have decided what your life should look like, and because it's not like that, you think that you are failing? Did you consult the Lord first? Or did He say, no, child, that's not what I want you to have. I have bigger and better, so sit on down, be patient, and wait on me. See, He is protecting us from ourselves, from our grandiose ideas. That ain't nothing compared to His.
So another story that I have being in sales and how God made a way for me, I was walking up another hill, right? And this time they have stairs that you have to walk up in order to make it to the door, right? So I walk up the hill. My car is parked all the way down the hill, right? All the way down the hill. So I walk up the stairs. I'm knocking on the door. The customer is not opening the door, right? So I'm just standing there just waiting, you know, because we got to wait a little bit more longer. And all of a sudden, guys, a huge German Shepherd comes from the backyard of his neighbor's crib. This German Shepherd has no leash, and there's nobody outside besides me and the German Shepherd, bro. I called on the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus, because I didn't know what else to do. I was terrified. I was scared, okay? So this is what happened. I'm standing like near the door, right? The dog is like parallel to me, like, and he's looking at me. He's not barking, but he's looking at me. And what I chose to do was just not make eye contact with it, because sometimes dogs freak out when you make eye contact with them. So I just started praying. I was like, God, please don't let this dog come over here and bite me. Don't let this dog come over here and bite me. Don't let this dog come over here and attack me. I asked God, I was like, can you please send the dog to the backyard so I'll have enough time to run down this hill and run to my car? Bro, so I'm praying. I'm talking about repetitively praying in the moment, bro. And I'm like, God, I know it's just me and you right now. I need you, because you are in control of this dog. You made this dog just like you made me. So I know you could do it. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to God, he did. The dog looked at me, and then he turned around and he walked to the backyard, to his owner's backyard. And he stayed back there. And as soon as he walked to the backyard, bro, I took off running, bro. We wasn't even allowed to, like, walk in people's yards, bro. I ran all in that man's yard, bro. I ran straight down the hill. That was, like, the fastest that I've ever sprinted in my life, bro. And I made it to my car, bro. Real life, bro. That's a real life story, bro. Like, God really saved me for real, because it was just me and a German Shepherd, bro. And God really made a way and told that dog to go get your butt back. Get your butt back to the backyard. What you doing out here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you, God. So, yeah, that's a real life testimony, bro. Like, God is literally my protector for real. For real. He does not lie about that. He don't play about his kids, bro.
Testimony time. My brother and I were driving somewhere, and our light was green while the other lanes had a red light. Suddenly, an 18-wheeler ran the red light. On that day, if my brother had pressed the gas as soon as the light turned green, we wouldn't be here today. God is truly a protector. Now back to the video.
God's protection is always gonna eat, baby. It's always gonna eat. Because people who plot and scheme against you, their plans and anything that they're trying to brew up will never see the light. Why? Because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So whatever the enemy is brainstorming, putting together, plotting, whatever scheme they trying to form to put against you, and I'm speaking, this could be a foe, this could be a friend, this could be a relative, this could be a loved one, right? It will never overpower the protection and the strength of what God has in store for you. You know, when people come to you like, girl, I think you should just go and clear your name. You should just address it. You ain't got to address nothing, because God don't play about his children. When you're righteous, you will always prevail. You will always rise like a phoenix from the fire, because God protection is top tier. Just know that I know this personally. I know it personally. What's for you, it's for you. Once you put God first for everything, watch how stress-free you'll be. Watch how stress-free you will be. I know firsthand. Like I said, God's protection always gonna eat, baby. Always. Remember that.
If they're avoiding you, it's God protecting you. If they're ignoring you, it's God protecting you. If you're not getting the help that you expected, it's God protecting you. If they never returned your call or stood you up, it's God protecting you. If they walked away without explanation, it's God protecting you. If you didn't feel appreciated, it's God protecting you. If they rejected your kindness, it's God protecting you. If they went and gathered allies to dislike you too, it's God protecting you. If they don't desire a relationship with you, it's God protecting you. If they're not willing to use the influence, the power, or the connections they have to benefit you, it's God protecting you. It's not personal. It's protection. It's God protecting you.
If you are enjoying this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Back to the video.
So I'm going to tell you a story about God's protection. Sometimes God puts things in your life for a reason to protect you from things. So I go to the same gym every single day. It's a really, really nice gym. And I always hang my jacket up in the locker room. You don't think anything about it. So I go about my workout, come back down, my jacket's gone. Mind you, not only my AirPods are in there, but my car keys are in there. There's no wallet, no identification, no money, no anything. So that's great. But my car keys are in there. Now, initially, I wanted to get heated and get scared and get mad and all this stuff. But then I sat back for a second and I was like, what if God's protecting me from something? What if I would have gotten into my car and gotten to the worst car accident of my life? Instead of protecting me from that, he said, you know what? Girl, I'm going to snatch your keys so you can't even drive your car. God works in the most mysterious and most funny ways, and it's all for your protection. The biggest takeaway is just being on the positive side of things. Looking at the positive in every situation. Yeah, my car keys were gone, but I have a spare at home. Yeah, my car keys were gone, but at least I have a friend that can come pick me up. Yeah, I don't have my keys, but at least I can access my apartment through my phone. Be thankful for everything in your life, and always look to the positive side of things. Even when things are going negative, there's a reason for them, and be positive about it. Instead of getting all hot and heated and mad and yelling at everybody, I was like, it's okay. You know, like at first I was a little mad, but I'm like, it's okay. I still have a body that allows me to move around. So try to look for the positive things in everything and just understand that everything in life, there's a reason for, and God is protecting you from a lot that you might not even know.
God is protecting you. God is protecting you. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be anxious about. Nothing. Let's read some scripture. Psalms 27 and verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? ? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? ? Ask yourself these questions. There are a lot of questions in the Bible to make us ponder, to make us think. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? The creator of the universe has your back. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. God got you. All right?
Be sure to support the original creators featured in this video by checking out their content and showing them some love.
Let me give you guys the story time on how God used an argument between me and my dad to basically keep me from getting kidnapped. This is good. Listen to this. So I'm from Chicago. I went to DePaul. I had a full scholarship, but they did not cover housing. So my freshman year of college, I used to have to take the train and bus from the south side to downtown to make it to school, right? So around this time, I had a job at Abercrombie & Fitch down at the water tower, okay? So on Fridays, I don't know why my boss always scheduled me a 4 to 9 shift on Fridays. So one day I got off of work. It was a Friday. I got off at 9. So that's bring me up to probably about 10:30 at this time. I had taken a train, taken a bus. The bus stop always drops me off at this one place. I walk 2 blocks, which takes me to my dad's house, okay? I get off the bus. I will make it to the first block. So I got 1 block left. It's nighttime, it's pitch black. And this man pulls up to me, I'll never forget, pulls up to me on the corner, like he's so close to me. And he exposes himself to me. And like, it looks like he's about to get out of the car. He opens the car door. I run around his car and I book it that last block. I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm telling my dad what's happening. We're out looking for this guy. He calls police, you know, nothing ever comes from that. That's not the crazy part, okay? What happened was I was upset at my dad because my dad works in the car industry. My dad fixes cars, he sells cars. And I asked him to either meet me at the bus stop every night just to like drive me those 2 blocks home,
or fix my car, because at that time my car was messed up. Y'all, I never, ever, ever got into it with my dad before, ever. So me and my dad got into a huge argument the next night, because like this man just exposed himself to me, and you know, like, what precautions are you taking to avoid this from happening? Okay, anyway, that next night I move out, I move in with my mom. And within that week, I find me an apartment, okay? So I moved to the north side of Chicago. So I'm in Old Town at this point, my very first apartment. This all happened in a week. I was able to find an apartment in a week, move in. I didn't have much, you know, it's my very first place. I didn't have nothing but clothes, okay? So I move in. I am unpacking the little clothes that I have. This is my probably second night. I think the first night I had to work. My second night, I get home from work, I'm unpacking, y'all. I never watched the news. My first apartment, I didn't have cable or anything. I am watching the news. I could cry right now. I see a news reporter standing at the bus stop, the very same bus stop I used to get off, the very same stop, the same side of the street, everything. She is saying that a man, two men and a white van, had pulled up on the girl at the bus stop, pulled her into the van, took advantage of her, and then dropped her off somewhere. So she's alive and she was able to tell the story and where they picked her up at. But my eyes started bawling because a week had passed, and the night that this happened was a Friday night. And I'm just thinking, like, that could have been me. Like, I know God had me get into this argument with my dad. He had that first crazy situation happen. Thank God nothing happened from that. But because that happened, and because I got into it with my dad, I moved out that a week before just to go to my apartment and see on the news that there was another woman standing at the same bus stop I would have been standing at, and that happened to her. I have learned that anytime something bad happens, like I was pretty upset that me and my dad had gotten into it, but anytime something bad happens in life, just know that God is always definitely protecting us from something. And me and my dad are fine now. Like, we're good. Like, but that had to happen for me to get out of that area. God is always protecting. Like, we never know, like, what he's doing. He always has a plan. So just remember, sometimes in the bad, find the good, and just stay prayed up.
Hey y'all. Okay, so I was in the middle of my fellowship. So I did medical school, then did my residency, and then I did my fellowship, which is a aesthetic fellowship focusing on contouring breast, body, face, everything, right? So it was awesome. But so halfway through my fellowship, they're like, hey, Amaka, like, we saw this great opportunity, perfect for you, right? And so I started looking at the opportunity. It was amazing. Like, you guys, I remember saying, this is the perfect job. It was an academic center. It was a department, you know, made specifically for what I was interested in. It was in a really cool city. Everybody I talked to was amazing. I was supposed to go up there to do the in-person interviews, but you guys, it was like, literally, it was like, God, I see you. The perfect job, yo. Like, it just felt that way at the time. So thing goes on, things progress. And then I remember getting a call, and they were like, hey, like, this position is no longer available because we no longer have the position available. And I was like, and, you know, in that moment, I was devastated because I was like, I'm not going to find anything close to this ever again. Like, I just felt like all that joy was gone. I was devastated. And, you know, if y'all know how it is, if you've been through something like that, like, it's devastating. You may be going through that now. I was devastated. And, you know, I smile now, but y'all, I was not smiling. Like, I actually remember I got the call. It was like between surgeries, and I went into surgery, and I had like shed some tears before, and I just was trying to keep it together. So I was in my feelings, but you know how it is in life. You have to keep moving, right? So I kept moving. So long story short, you know how the story ends. Here we are, right? I have my own practice now. I ended up in Nashville. Really great opportunities here. However, what happened was I found out about a couple years after that, I had moved on, right? By then, I found out that actually that department that I was going to be a part of completely shut down. So I fast forward and thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I would have just been kind of left in the dust without anything. Like, God was watching out for me. But in that moment that I was going through that, it honestly felt like the opposite. It felt like, I was like, God, how come you presented me with this amazing thing, But then you like it just went away like that. Like it felt, I was like, what did I do, right? But at the same time, I kept hearing him say, I have such like better things for you. So, several things from that. In any moment where something's going on, and it's not going how you planned, it's hard. It's so hard, but you have to keep moving because you might miss your assignment, right? So you have to keep moving so you don't delay or miss your assignment, right? We all have an assignment. We all have gifts. We all have a purpose. You don't want to miss it just being caught up in those feelings or that, whatever that is. The other thing is the doors that close in this situation were, if not more important, as important as all the doors that opened to me, right? But it was in the face of rejection. Like oftentimes rejection is literally divine protection, and it was in this case. I have so many stories. This happened many years ago, and here I am like just sharing it. I reflected on this story a lot, and it was God was really protecting me in that moment. But I'm going to be honest, in that moment I didn't see it. So I hope that this helps you in whatever moment you're in. You have to know that something better is coming. You're being protected. You may not see it, but remember, rejection is God's protection. If it didn't happen for you, it's just not for you, and you just move on, keep moving, so you don't miss your assignment, right? That's how God works, and the key is really seeing the divinity and that supernatural aspect in these things, because it just changes your entire perspective, right? Okay, y'all, that's my story time for today. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for watching Cup of Abundance. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it uplifting. If you'd like to join a community of like-minded women striving for faith-filled lives of purpose and abundance, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Y'all be blessed.